Hi, I'm Cynthia, and this is Really Clear TV. Welcome to my channel, and I'm so glad you stopped by. I have a lot of things going on this month, so I thought I'd give you a rundown. The first is I finished my sweater. I was steeking a sweater, and I'll show you the process of both steeking and needle felting the edge and actually sewing a button on too. So hold on for that. But I'm really happy with this. I really looked good in pullovers a few years ago, but anymore I don't. So this kind of gives a nice vertical line, and we're much happier with it. This is from an old pattern by Vivian Hawksborough in a book called Shadow Knitting. It is a lovely book. Sadly, it's out of print, but you may be able to pick it up from somewhere. Steeking the front was super easy, putting on the button bands super quick, and now I'll wear my sweater. So I'm very happy I did this. Everyone always makes a big deal over steeking and feels like they have to feint and stuff, but honestly, it's just cutting fabric. So what I'm going to do is cut it, and then I'm going to use a needle felting sponge and tool to take care of the ends. I just heard about that from a couple of different sources all at once, so it must be a trend. So here goes. I don't really ever mind doing this, as I said. You do want to make sure that you're not cutting the back of the sweater as well as the front, so I'm going to hold my hand under and just make sure it's going to be okay. So it's cut, and now I'm just going to take a needle felting tool and needle felt the edge. Here's how I needle felted a steeked edge using the Clover needle felting tool. I've already actually done most of the edge, but I have a little part up here that I didn't quite catch. So you can see that it looks a little bit loose, and all I'm going to do is take this tool, which has very pointy tips. I'm not going to touch them, and there's barbed edges. As I turn it, you should be able to see the little barbs on the needles. So I'm going to take this, and all I'm going to do is very carefully not get it anywhere near my fingers and poke it up and down into the edge of the sweater. And you can see how as I'm doing it, it's fuzzing up, where before it looked kind of loose, as I said. And I'm just going to do it till it looks ready. Now I've already put the button band on this, but I think I'm actually going to go through it this way a wee bit. It might pull the button band in a little bit, but I still feel as if it's going to be more secure that way. And see, you can't tell at all on the front of the button band. It still looks really good. So that's all there is to needle felting a steeked edge. You just cut an edge and then needle felt it. Here's how you sew on a button. The first thing you want to do is take your thread and double it. You want to use 100% cotton quilting thread, so get a good quality thread from a quilt shop rather than a less expensive thread. I've read or heard that thread can cut into wool fiber, and chances are good that that's because it's a cheaper polyester thread. You're going to thread your needle a little differently than you may have done in the past. So you start out with a thread doubled, and then you thread both ends. Let me spit on them and get them together. You thread both ends through the needle so that you actually then have doubled over yarn with a loop at the end. I don't know if you can see that. I'll move it so that you can. And what you're going to do, this is very tricky. I learned it from cross stitching. You're going to go up where you want to come to get your button sewn. Don't pull it the whole way though. Now you're going to put your button on. This is a shank button that has a little shank at the bottom. I like these for sweaters because they're very pretty on the top. You don't see thread at all. You're going to put your thread through the button, and then you're going to put it down back through. Now you're going to put your needle through the loop. This way you don't have to knot your thread. It's secure and you're done with that. Next you go up, catch the shank, and back down. Go up, catch the shank, down. And you're going to do this 4 to 6 times, depends on your level of paranoia. I tend to be fairly paranoid. That should do it. Now to end, you can just overcast down here in the back. In other words, sew into the same place again, maybe 4 to 6 times. I sew until it starts feeling thick and kind of hard to sew through, and then I go the other way once or twice. That button is not going anywhere. I'm going to clip it, and that's how you sew on a button. I like to use thread that matches the button band, and if with any luck the button is the same color as the button band too, or something similar, but this way in the back you really don't see anything. I'm also working on a block of the month this year, and it's a Christmas block of the month. In January we did this exciting 4-patch. In February, we're going to do another exciting 4-patch. So I'm doing it sort of like a mystery quilt. So you'll do part of the blocks each month. And then in March, I'll put the blocks all together. So stay tuned. This is going to get better. I'm also working on a project from Luminous Fiber Arts called Spooky October. I started with the T and the O because that's the center of the piece, and if you're a good cross stitcher you start in the center so you don't run out of fabric on the outside. Last night I was working on it. The Raven I had finished about a week ago, and that was fun. I've gotten the 2 stars done, and now I'm starting on the bee. The bee is very exciting because it has a ghost that winds around it, so that is a lot of fun. I actually got a little carried away last night, and I started, I kept going up too high, so I need to pull this part back. I just couldn't do it last night, but today it seems easy. I don't know why is that. When you're tired, pulling something out is hard, but now I don't know why it seems so painful. But here we go. We're gonna start again, and I will show you the progress next time. We'll see how that goes. And now I would like to announce my new pattern. This is Intarsia 101 mug mats. I have 2 of them here because I was using those 2 colors, obviously. So this pattern teaches you how to do Intarsia. You can see how the back of Intarsia looks. You could line this if you wanted to cover this up. I didn't. And then what you do after you've done the motif is you felt them. And I have this basin that I used. No one's washing machine felts anymore. If you go to Amazon and type in Japanese laundry basin, you will find this. It is small and cute. I've found that it actually works really well for washing small things. All you do is fill this with hot water and then rub the mug mats this way. Be sure to turn them this way and rub them both ways. And just keep rubbing them. They'll start shrinking and getting thicker. And whenever they're the size you want, then you stop. So I hope that you go out and buy Intarsia 101 because it's a great little pattern. You'll learn how to do Intarsia. So I highly recommend my own project. There you go. That's it this month. I hope that you have a great month, and I will see you in March.